Welcome back. Over the last few months with these home editions, we've been catching up with a lot of the Jason Show friends, Aaron Schwab, Miss Shannon, and now we're catching up with one of the most popular. We have missed her, and I know you have too. I know my mother has. From Lemons, Lavender, and Laundry, our dear friend Erin Meyer. Hi, Erin.
Hello. It's so good to see you.
Oh, it is so good to see you. I like to ask all of our guests the first time they reappear on our home edition, on a personal level, just as a human level, how you doing?
You know, we are doing really actually pretty well. We're finishing up distance learning. That's probably been the biggest, trying to figure all of that out with 3 kids, elementary, middle, and high school. I've got all 3. So.
Oh, Erin. Oh, well, congratulations, and may the force be with you on that one.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to talk. People are going to love this. We're going to talk about 3 projects today, and let's start with, Erin, what do you call the table by your door? I don't even know.
You know, it's just a little entry table. I inherited it from my grandpa, and it was in very rough shape. So we had to give it a little makeover, but it technically is actually a dining room table that has tons of leaves, but we have it at the smallest version so that we can kind of put it right in the entry. Okay,
we're looking at it now. It looks, what is it, Erin? Is it white?
Okay, so it started out cherry wood color. And because it was in such rough shape, I know some people are really opposed to painting wood, but it was so water stained. So originally, I then painted it white. However, then we changed the wall color in our entry. And so when I did that, I ended up redoing the table in a chalk paint and wax approach that makes it look sort of weathered, sort of that weathered wood, rustic wood type look. But you can, instead of, putting your wood outside and making it weather naturally, you can do it with a chalk paint and wax.
I'm looking at it now. That is beautiful. It's not hard to do, right?
No. So the awesome thing about chalk paint is there's not a lot of prep work that you have to do. You just need to make sure that the piece of furniture, whatever you're painting, is clean. You don't want any dust particles or anything, but chalk paint doesn't require any sanding or primer or anything like that. So you can just apply that. And then the cool thing about chalk paint is then you seal it with a wax. If you love the color of the chalk paint as is, perfect. You can just do a clear wax over it. However, in this technique, I used a dark wax over what was kind of a tan color chalk paint, and it creates that variation in the coloring so it looks a little bit more weathered. And so the wax I have found just using a old t-shirt is the easiest application. You do work in small batches with the grain, and immediately you want to wipe off excess because it does kind of dry, but it turns out kind of this rusticy color.
Okay, project number 2. Talk to me about this nightstand.
Okay, so originally we bought this nightstand, or I bought it for $5 at Goodwill. I didn't love anything about it, but I liked the shape. So I knew I was going to give it a makeover, so I'm just find something that's the shape that I'm looking for. So I took off the plastic feet, and I took off the knobs, gave it a good cleaning, and all I used was spray paint. So obviously, we're all familiar with spray paint. It's like $5 or $6 for a can of spray paint. I just sprayed it the navy blue, changed out the knobs. I think both of them together maybe cost $4. And that was all I did. And then and the thing about spray paint that you have to remember is work in light batches and just quick sprays. You don't want to get too much on or it drips.
We're looking at the before and after right now, and you're right.
Okay.
That is a very 90s looking, the square. Yeah. I could see why you wouldn't like
the knobs were just the whole thing was bad. But if you can update it, we also spray painted a locker and made that into his dresser. He had a whole football themed room, and so it was nice. We could just use that same navy blue paint that we spray painted the locker, and we did that with the nightstand. So everything kind of worked together.
And finally, we're looking at a bathroom vanity again. Speaking of the 90s, this wood tone.
Yes,
I'm thinking
the oak.
Yeah, the oak, the dreaded 90s oak.
Yes. So, okay. So what I love about this project was I used latex paint, which is what you would apply to your wall. I actually had used this navy color in my entryway. And I had tons of leftover. It was only one wall. And so I used it on this vanity. The thing about latex paint is you do need to do a little more prep work. It's good to sand and prime so that the latex paint adheres a little bit better. And then I sealed it because this was a bathroom vanity and I knew there was likely to be maybe some toothpaste splatter or water on it. I applied a polyacrylic over it to seal the paint. You want polyacrylic because it dries clear. Polyurethane will dry yellow. So especially if you're using like a white or a cream, definitely don't want polyurethane. It will yellow it and make it look awful.
Well, here is the before and after. Look at that. That is beautiful. And that dark, that dark navy is so hot, and it's been hot for a few years. I don't think it's going anywhere. That's beautiful, Erin.
And it's just a nice, what's great about latex paint too is that you can find it in a variety of color. I mean, it's like every shade of every color out there you can find. And a lot of people have this just sitting in their basement or something left over from wall paint. So that's all it was just wall paint on the vanity. So
I would imagine again, you're teaching 3 different tiers of children while doing your own stuff, while living your own life, but I can imagine this also probably has been great for projects like this.
Right. I think a lot of people, I think we had 2 kind of groups of people, some that feel very overwhelmed trying to figure everything out. And I get that. I feel those people. And also people who are like, we've got some time at home that we weren't expecting. And so why not take on some of the projects that we've been looking for? And, now we're getting into warmer weather. And so being able to paint outside where it's warm, you got good ventilation out there, and sunshine. So it's a time to take on some of those projects. And honestly, these furniture makeovers, many of them can just be done in a day. It's not something that requires, so much time. So they're quick, easy, little DIY projects that you can do.
That we love. Erin, it's good to see you. Thank you so much.
It was so good to see you too.
Erin Meyer, everyone, from Lemons, Lavender, and Laundry, and you can find her on social media. And also we'll post a segment a little bit later on our Jason Show Facebook page. Back after this.